Hi guys, you are welcome to our channel. My name is Morayo Ahonaya and it is great to have you here. Today we're going to be talking about immunization and vaccination, a very common topic but also somewhat vague. Okay, so what is vaccination and what is immunization? Why are we even talking about it in the first place? My son clocked 6 weeks some days ago and today happens to be his immunization, is scheduled 6 weeks immunization. There's a series of immunizations that they have to go through from when they are giving birth to, and there's a reason why, isn't there? So let's just learn about the reason why and what this is actually, what immunization and vaccination is. So vaccination is the process whereby we introduce a vaccine into the body that helps the body to fight against a particular disease or a set of diseases, okay? While immunization is a process whereby you introduce that vaccine to be able to fight against that disease, but also to be able to be immune to it, to be able to partially or completely resist it, both at the time of the introduction of the vaccination and in other future times, both nearest and further futures, okay? So that is what immunization is all about. And in this part of the world, thanks to vaccination and immunization, a lot of deadly diseases have been totally eradicated or quite mitigated. In this part of the world, meaning Nigeria, West Africa, Africa, and other parts of the world as well, but we can testify that there's some diseases that used to be quite prevalent. For instance, polio. Polio causes paralysis, polio causes loss of, body parts and things like that. Polio has been quite reduced, almost fully eradicated. Measles causes blindness, measles causes, brain damage. Tetanus that has no cure. Tetanus also causes some very dangerous things to happen to the person, some very sad things to happen to a person's body. But thanks to vaccination, those diseases, those deadly diseases can be prevented. Diseases like cholera, like diarrhea. Now, how do vaccines work? Vaccines take a path of the pathogen called antigen. And alongside some other substances, a vaccine is prepared and then introduced into the body, either by injections or by oral use, is introduced into the body and then goes and prompts an immune response from the body that helps the body understand how the disease works, and then it can create the appropriate antibodies to be able to fight that disease. Every single day of our lives, we are fighting something. That's how the world is. From the point when we're giving birth to the point when we die, something is always after our lives. But God has created our body and our immune system such that it can fight adequately against those things. Sometimes, we have some very high-level diseases that our bodies cannot fight against on their own, which is where vaccination comes in to help prepare the body, to help arm the body with enough information, and then, to help the body produce enough antibodies. It's still the body that is doing the work of producing the antibodies that will be able to fight off and fend off these dangerous diseases. Should I define what pathogens and antigens are? Okay, let me go into that. Let's go into that. Pathogens are organisms. We have different ones. Organisms that we're daily exposed to that can be hosts to very harmful diseases. Okay? Organisms like bacteria, bacterium, viruses, protozoa, worms. Okay? Organisms like fungi, those 5, they are host to very dangerous diseases, and we're exposed to them daily. Our babies, from the point that they're born, are fighting thousands of antigens daily, while we as adults, we fight hundreds, sometimes thousands of antigens daily as well. Okay, they can be found in the environment, in the water that we drink, in the places that we sit on. They are everywhere. They are all around us. And there's little or nothing that we can do to totally cleanse or rid our environments of them, or rid even our systems of them. But we can find ways to fight them, resist them, and manage them. And that is what vaccines are there for. Antigens are a part, they're a subset of the pathogens, and they are the parts that carry the information that help the body to produce antibodies against the pathogens. Having said that, and having understood what vaccination is and how it works, I want to share tips that we can use to prepare for vaccination or immunization in our children, or when we are going for vaccination and immunization. The first thing that you need to do is to understand what vaccines your child needs to take and to know the schedule for them. I will put in a chart right now on your screen the schedule for immunization. You can pause and then you can snip it, or you can pause and just go through it. Per region, per place, the immunization schedule is different. And here in Africa, we have our immunization scheduled right from birth to when they're 6 weeks, like my baby took today, to when they're 14 weeks, to when they're 10 weeks actually first, then to when they're 14 weeks, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, 6 months, 2 years, 6 months, all the way up. Okay? And the essence of some of these vaccines is, as we said, to help the body to build resistance. So some of them are taken multiple times. By the way, there are two types of vaccines. There are the live vaccines and there are the killed vaccines. The live vaccines have a weakened antigen in them, or have a weakened virus in them, while the killed vaccines have a destroyed version of the virus or antigen inside them. So the killed vaccines are weaker, generally weaker, and have to be taken a multiple number of times. There's a good reason why the scientists have made them that way, and there's a good reason why the scientists have made the live ones that way. But one of the things I heard is also, for people with a generally weaker immune system, the killed vaccines are better. And then for some types of diseases too, it is just better to have a killed vaccine version than to have, and then to go multiple times than to have it at once. They're dangerous. Okay, so yeah, where were we? Tips for preparing for your immunization, or how to prepare for your immunization. One of them is to know your scheduled dates and maybe put them in your planner. Write them down in your planner. Oh, this is when we're going to go for this, and so that it reminds you. And then I think another thing that will be helpful is to call the hospital a day or two before you go to just confirm the availability of those vaccines. In the hospital where I go, some vaccines are not available, and thankfully, because I know the vaccines I'm supposed to take, I'm able to better prepare. There's a generator that is about to die that is really distracting in the background. Just die already. Anyways, another way to prepare is to, on the day of that you're going, try to wake up really early. Try to wake your child really early and to get there really early, so that you can be one of the first people to, be attended to. Wear your baby really light clothes, or if you can, wear a half sleeve for your baby, then with stockings. Because, for instance, the one that my baby had today included him getting injections on his arms and on his thighs. Vaccines can be oral and they can also be injectables. You would also want to take a flannel, a clean flannel, where you can place on the measuring board, because a lot of times your baby from the age of 0 to 1, they will be measured per their visits to the hospital for those immunization checks. And it's also good for you to have an idea, what's my baby weighing now? It's a good indication of how healthy or how sickly they are, or they may be. I think that's that for preparations. I also want to share tips on how you can relieve the pain of immunization or vaccination. One of the things that you can do to relieve pain is to be calm and to be there for your baby. Just have a steady and strong heart, because watching your baby go through pain can be painful as a parent. But if you're calm, your baby will draw from your strength as well. Be ready to cuddle your baby. Cuddle your baby as much as you can, giving them hugs as they're crying, just hold them close. It will help to relieve their pain. You can ask if you can give a pain reliever to your child, or you can ask them to prescribe a pain relieving medication to your baby. The hospitals usually do that. And some may not. If they tell you it's not required, then I don't think it's required. I also try not to feed my baby too close to when we are going for immunization, because then the baby will be hungry enough to receive that cuddling and that care once they inject them. And then you can breastfeed them, or you can nurse them with, the bottle, and they'll be fine. I think these are about the things that I want to talk about that regards immunization. If you have any other thing you want to talk about, if you have any other thing that crosses your mind as regards immunization, please put it in the comments and I'll be very happy to reply. Thank you for joining us this week again. Look forward to seeing you next week. Have fun. Bye.